To your attention, organizational and pedagogical conditions for training higher education applicants by learning tools of a competence-oriented environment. To solve the problem of improving the quality of perception of educational material in higher education, organizational and pedagogical conditions are introduced, which include integration, regularity, and monitoring of educational activities, and as a result, the acquisition of competences. The aim of the article is to theoretically substantiate and experimentally check the organizational and pedagogical conditions for the training of higher education applicants by learning tools of the competence-oriented environment. In order to check the expediency of using the organizational and pedagogical conditions, 15 experts were selected. To test the level of competence of the expert, we calculate the corresponding expert competence factor. When selecting the experts, we took into account the pedagogical experience, the availability of printed works on certain problems, and participation in activities aimed at improving the quality of training of higher education applicants in terms of a competence-oriented environment. The organizational and pedagogical conditions for training higher education applicants by learning tools of a competence-oriented environment include integration of the educational process in the context of the face-to-face training of a higher education institution and a competence-oriented computer environment, providing systematic interactive work and performance of rating tasks in a computer environment focused on competence, systematic monitoring and control over the process of training of higher education applicants. The implementation of the first condition was ensured through the study of disciplines in the context of face-to-face training and online learning courses in a computer environment focused on competence. The implementation of the second condition was carried out with the help of the specified environment. Online courses included the study of interactive lectures with video elements, complex tasks, research papers, interactive seminars, and various tests. The implementation of the third condition provided for systematic monitoring of the results of tasks in the online course and the degree of acquisition of competences. Before the introduction of the conditions developed by experts in the educational process, an experimental selection of knowledge was conducted. 240 people took part in the experiment, of which 119 students were in a control group and 121 in experimental group. Upon completion of the experimental work, the level of students' knowledge was also investigated. We present in the form of a table the results of experimental work. Thus, the levels of knowledge quality in the control and experimental groups are presented, and empirical values are also presented. The organizational and pedagogical conditions for the training of higher education applicants by learning tools of a competence-oriented environment are theoretically substantiated and experimentally checked. Such pedagogical conditions include integration of the educational process in the context of the face-to-face training and using computer environment, providing systematic interactive work and performance of rating tasks in the competence-oriented environment focused on the competence and systematic monitoring and control over the process of training of higher education applicants. Taking into account certain conditions will lead to a conductive learning environment and support for renewal, productivity, continuity, and integrity of the acquisition of competences. Thank you for your attention.